and screen share. Okay, now can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. All right. So today we're chatting on finishing strong and making a fourth quarter push. And it's gonna freeze again. All right, we're gonna roll with it this way because I'm not fine with it. So, with 90 days left in the year, 92 technically as of today, where do you want to be? And I know we kind of talked a little bit about this on our last call, but is your goal to get to Emerald? Is it to hit Diamond or to work on becoming debt free? Is it to build up a savings for Christmas presents for your family, or to hit one of the marks on the road to elite? Do you want to be a team builder or a team leader by the end of the year? You know, what are the goals that you're pushing for? Where do you want to be business wise, financially in the business, rank wise? There's a lot of different factors to it, and there's a lot that can happen in 90 days. So don't discredit yourself if you feel like you're not close enough to your goal yet to actually get there. Where have you sold yourself short? So last night on the call with Josh, he was talking about how when we're not close enough to our goal, we start making excuses about why we can't. So we can sit here and say, oh God, I'm never going to hit that because there's only 3 months left of the year, and the holidays are coming up, and we start feeding into the limiting beliefs and the story that we've told ourselves, and we start making these excuses about why we can't do it. But a lot of times 99% of our struggle is mental. It's because we're getting in our heads and we're getting in our own way, and we are stopping ourselves from success because we psych ourselves out. I mean, I feel like we've kind of all done that before, where we're like, I just don't know, I don't know, and we let that fear kind of overtake us and overwhelm us. But I love that he mentioned this last night. He brought up the Bible verse where it talks about how God gives us the desires of our heart. And that doesn't just mean that we desire something and God gives it to us, but the things that we desire, the dreams, the visions, the hopes that we have in our heart, God gave us those. And he gives us everything inside of us to bring them to life. God doesn't just give you dreams and visions for your life for you to just be cruel and be like, okay, here's this dream for your life, but you're never going to accomplish it. And so when we're talking about, like, God gives us the desires of our heart, the desire that's in your heart to do something, or to create this life for your family, or to help other people, is there for a reason, and it's tied into your purpose and what you were created and put on this earth to do, and the people that you were created to impact. So don't sell yourself short because you're not close enough to your goal yet. And I know we all have such a tendency to do that, myself included. And so there's three most dangerous mistakes that we all make as we are working towards these goals, and the ways that we kind of psych ourselves out. So number one is thinking that hitting our goal is a win or lose situation. We tell ourselves sometimes, okay, if I hit Diamond, I've won, I've achieved the goal. If I don't hit Diamond, I lost, I failed, I missed the mark. And that's not the case, because it's not just about hitting the goal, it's about who you become in the process of trying to hit that goal. And every single time we set a goal, we create these goals to teach ourselves how to grow into the next version of ourselves that we need to become to hit that goal. And A goal is just something that helps you set a new standard to live by. Because if we never stretch ourselves out of our comfort zone, if we never reach for something more, we're going to settle for what we currently have. We're going to settle for less than what we could do with our lives, for less than what we could do with our business, for less than what we could do for our families, because we stay inside of our comfort zones instead of learning how to grow and stretch ourselves and reach for that goal. And even if you miss the goal that you were reaching for, imagine how much stronger, how much smarter, how much more capable you are going after it again if you miss it, because of everything that you learn on the way to trying to reach that goal. So, you know, we have to give ourselves permission to get in the game. Like, if we lose this game, it starts over again. Like, it's not a one shot and done. This isn't life or death. You don't just get one opportunity to reach for the goal that you're pushing for. I have set several goals and changed the date of them and pushed it out and just kept working and kept growing. And you're never starting over from zero when you do that. You're starting over with experience, with knowledge, with courage, with momentum, and you're building on something. So it's not a win or lose situation, and that is a huge mental mistake that we can make. There is nothing to lose but our pride. It hurts our pride when we miss a goal, but it doesn't deter us from actually reaching the goal. Number 2, asking, do I have enough, instead of how do I get enough? And it doesn't matter what that enough is. We can sit here all day long and say, do I have enough followers to do that? Do I have enough content to do that? Do I have enough resources? Do I have pretty enough graphics? Do I have pretty enough emails? Am I good enough at this? Stop asking, do you have enough, and start asking, how do I get enough? Everything is a learning process, and everything is an opportunity to grow. The people who we follow on Instagram who have, 100,000 followers or whatever, these top coaches, they didn't get that overnight. They grew that following. They didn't sit there and say, well, I don't have enough people on my Instagram, so I can't be successful with this. They just continue to do the things that they know help them grow. And it slowly but surely and steadily over time built on itself. And then they've created something where they have the following, or whatever it may be. We don't need to ask, do I have enough? Instead, how do I get enough? We all have enough. We all have what it takes, but are we going to give what it takes? And then the third mistake is that we get into our head and away from our heart and our passion. And when we get all up in our head, we forget why we're really doing this. Stop looking for other people to like, appreciate, and value what you do. Every single one of us became a coach for a reason, and most of us, those reasons have so much to do with other people and the people around us. And when we get in our head, we forget why we're really here, why we're really doing this. Like, so many of us became a coach because we long to help other people. We want to help other women feel confident or be healthy or find financial freedom. We want to help other women be impacted the way that our lives have been impacted through this opportunity, through this community, through this company. And when we lose sight of that, that's when we start to psych ourselves out and think that we're not enough. You are always enough for everything that you have been called to, for everything that you were created for every dream that God has breathed into your heart and given life to. You are enough for, because God calls you and he provides for you and he guides you and he equips you with everything that you need. And so get out of your own head and stop questioning whether you can do it. Moses stood there and questioned God so many times. Why did you pick me? I'm not eloquent. I can't speak. I've never done this. I have a stutter. I'm shy. This isn't what I do. And God said, I know all of that about you, and I chose you anyway. And God says that about every single one of us who he has called. And if you felt a tug on your heart and if you felt called into this business to help other people, it doesn't serve you or anybody else for you to get in your head and psych yourself out about something that you were called to do. And ask yourself, what did I promise myself and God that I would do for the world? You know, I made it a part of like my business, my mission, that I want to help other women find their confidence, live their healthiest lives, and find financial freedom through this business opportunity. And the moments where I get in my head and I get super frustrated and I feel like I'm not where I want to be yet, I lose sight of who I'm really here to help and why I'm really here. And I know that if I continue to do the right things and I continue to try to help as many women as I can and do it the best that I possibly can, the business side's going to grow. It's going to come. The goals are going to be checked off and reached. But I have to remember why I'm here. And I have to lead with my heart and not with my head. So let's talk a little bit about strategy. Avoid comparison. You are not in competition with anyone. We all have our own lane and we all have our own journey to run, and we are all totally different people. And you are never going to miss out on the people who are supposed to do this with you. And that's something that I've had to remind myself of so many times. Every single time somebody has told me no, every single time somebody has quit or walked away from this team or walked away from me, I have to remind myself I will never miss out on the people who are supposed to be on this journey with me. And that helps you get out of the comparison game. There are people who are supposed to be on my team who fit the mission that I have, who are women that I can help and impact. There are women who are supposed to be on each one of your teams, who are supposed to be on Bonnie Ingles' team or Lindsay Matway's team. We all have something unique and different that we bring to the table. And just because somebody tells you no, maybe their table is with somebody else. That doesn't mean that you're not good at what you do, and it doesn't mean that you're not worthy or called or equipped. But it does mean we have to stop comparing ourselves to other people and give ourselves the grace to grow in our lane. So, second, give yourself permission to fail. Desperation and urgency are not the same thing. And when we don't give ourselves permission to fail, we start getting desperate, and people can smell that. I worked in outside sales for a long time, and it's like a sixth sense. People can smell when you are desperate for a sale instead of just having a sense of urgency to help them or to do something. So okay. We only throw Hail Marys when there's 5 seconds left in the game. Nobody throws a Hail Mary in the middle of the game when you still got 2 quarters to play. We only throw a Hail Mary as a last-ditch effort, so we need to stop throwing Hail Marys when we're at halftime. And I think that's huge because I know we've all done it. I've definitely been guilty of doing that. And we have to have urgency towards hitting our goals, and we have to make them a priority. But that doesn't mean we start getting crazy and sending out those crazy messages that make people ghost you and never want to message you back again. So put more focus on what already works in this last quarter, and don't waste your time trying to reinvent the wheel. The last quarter of the year is not the time to start trying to get all weird and fancy and try new things. The things that work are the things that we know, and they're the things that bring results when we do them consistently. So just show up consistently, run your plays, play by play, and play them to the best of your abilities. We don't throw Hail Marys until it's the last second. Level up your network. So this is such a great piece of advice because we've all heard the quote, we become like the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And so when we level up our network, those people kind of start to rub off on us. And this is why having a success partner or a push group is so important. And I know a couple of you are in that push to diamond group, and that's huge because you've got all of these women who are working towards something bigger, who are rubbing off on you when they've got the momentum and they've got the fire, and you've got these other leaders on our team who are helping to pour vision into that. And as you start to get around those people, their habits rub off on you and their fire rubs off on you, and you catch a little bit of their motivation and some of their inspiration starts to stick. So leveling up your network makes such a huge difference. And if you guys don't have like success partners in this business, I urge you to find one. Find somebody who is at a similar place in your business as where you are, and run with them, run together. Honestly, it's more fun that way too, because you just like feed off of each other. And I don't want to say it's like friendly competition, but it's like if your success partner is like, oh, I'm one away from diamond, you're like, oh, I gotta hustle so I can get there too. And it's fun. And it's an exciting thing to be able to cheer each other on. And like every time you add a new girl to your team, or you hit another success club point or whatever, you get to celebrate with each other. So I definitely encourage everybody to do that. And if you're not in some kind of push group and you want to be, let us know, because we will hook you up and make sure that you've got other girls in your corner who are pushing for the same goals as you, so that you guys can iron sharpens iron. You can sharpen each other and grow together and really slay this business together. And this just really hit me last night. Josh said, I'd rather lose trying than to know I lost by default. And so with 3 months left of this year, I know we all have goals that we've talked about. And I know that when they kind of seem far away or maybe a little bit out of reach, it's easy to put the brakes on and kind of take a step back. But this really hit me so hard that I would rather lose trying than to know I lost by default. And I'm currently reading The Miracle Equation. It's by Hal Elrod, I think is his last name. He's the same guy who wrote The Miracle Morning. And basically the miracle equation is that you have unwavering faith and extraordinary effort. And basically what that means is you have faith in yourself that you can reach the goal, and you give extraordinary effort until the very last second. And that combination of unwavering faith that you can reach that goal and extraordinary effort every single day until the very last second is the miracle equation. It's the difference maker. It's what changes the game. And it's what helps you to not lose by default, because we can take ourselves out of the game. We can psych ourselves out and we can sit our butts on the bench because we're afraid of failing. But every single one of you, the goals that you're pushing for, if you give it everything you've got and you miss the mark, I am still going to be just as proud of you as if you had hit the goal, because I see how hard you're working, and I know that that momentum is going to keep carrying you forward, and the growth that you experience along the way is worth the pain of losing the goal, because you're still going to get there eventually because you lost trying. So don't give up on yourself. And just to kind of speak to that a little bit more. So my vision for our team this year is to end the year as a 2021 premier team. I would love to see 1 or 2 new diamonds in Q4. And last night I got really excited and really emotional thinking back about how far we have come this year. And I decided that I don't want to sell myself. I don't want to sell you girls short. I don't want to sell the dream short that God has placed on my heart. And I think a really big reason sometimes why we lose focus on where we're going is because we forget how far we've come. So I started this year as barely an emerald. I had 2 coaches underneath me. I was a highly unstable emerald. I didn't even hit Success Club in January. And I just put my head down and I started working, and things started changing and things started happening. And we missed diamond in the first quarter, but in second quarter, our team went diamond and locked in team builder. In the third quarter, our team went 1-star and locked in team leader. And if somebody had told me at the beginning of the year, as an incredibly unstable, barely there emerald coach, that our team would be pushing for 2-star premier in the fourth quarter, I probably would have laughed in their face, because I'm like, yeah, right. There is no freaking way that that's ever going to happen. And yet the possibility is there. And I truly believe that God placed a dream and a vision on my heart for this team and for every single one of the ladies who are on this team. And I believe that we can truly fulfill this together. This isn't a me goal. This is a we goal. And I truly believe that, like, God has opened so many doors this year, and he has just blown my mind with all of the ways that he has provided and poured out blessings on the work that this team has done. And it still blows my mind and makes me so emotional to even think that our team is 1-star, and that we are a team leader team, and that we are pushing for premier. And I believe with all of my heart that we can do this. And I also know that as a team, reaching this goal means that there are ladies on this team who have advanced their business. It means there's ladies on this team who are providing for their families, who are earning an income, and who are making a difference in the lives of so many women who I could never touch all on my own. And that as we grow, this ripple effect continues to happen of people whose lives are affected and people whose lives are changed. Hey, my fur children are misbehaving. But this is my vision for this team. And I truly, with all of my heart, believe that this can happen. And I have seen miracles happen in every single quarter this year in this business. And I think that quarter 4 is no different. And so, as Josh Coates would say, let's puke together. Let's set some big, crazy goals that make us want to puke, because we're like, oh my God, I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud, but we're going to do it, okay? So let's puke together, and I want to hear everybody's puke goal for the end of the year. And I want to help all of you guys reach it. I want to help you brainstorm. I want to celebrate every victory along the way, and I want to hype you up when things don't feel like they're going right, and get you out of your head and back into your heart and your vision for where you are going with this. So I just want all y'all to take a turn, and what's your puke goal?